Hello and welcome back to the Tiny Humanists podcast. My name is Laura and I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. I haven't lived here long enough to know how to say that. Where I live with my boyfriend, our dog, our cat, and our rabbit. You can find me online as Tiny Humanists on Instagram, Ravelry, Etsy, and YouTube. Wow. I haven't talked to anybody yet today, and I'm not going to be talking to anyone until later on today, so this is the first time any words are coming out of my mouth, so apologies. But yeah, it's been 2 weeks since my last episode. I have finished a couple of things, and I've cast on a couple of things, and I'm just working on a bunch of stuff, and I'm also going to be having a bake shop update. If you are unaware, I am the dyer behind Tiny Human Knits, mostly self-striping yarn. This update that it's going to be happening this Friday, May 6th at 1 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time is a bit of a bumper update. I had a little bit extra time between updates, so I'll be having my normal Lord of the Rings colorway, and then I have a bunch of new stuff that I will be showing at the end, so if you're interested in any of that, stick around to the end, and if you're not, then goodbye. Anyway, I don't think I have any announcements up front, but I suppose I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Understated by Joji Locatelli that I knit out of, I had it in my head just a second ago, Harrisville Designs Nightshades, I believe, and it's in the, I want to say the Streetlight colorway, but I don't know if that's the actual colorway name. It's the colorway with a little bit of the yellow in it. And I knit this last year when we were driving to New Brunswick when we moved from Alberta, which was quite the trek. I really enjoy wearing it. It's very easy to wear and it's really comfortable and I really like it. So yes, I will start off with finished objects. I have 4. They're all like pretty small, so 4 may seem like a lot, but it's not. Anyway, I'll start off in chronological order. I showed you this first one last time, and I finished it the day that I last podcasted. I just finished it after when I was editing and all of that other stuff. So yes, anyway, it turned out super cute. And this is the Marseilles, I don't know how to pronounce that exactly, Sweater Junior by Petite Knit. So yeah, I finished this last time. And I knit this in a superwash merino DK in my own hand-dyed yarn. The main color is Hot Laval, and then the contrast color is Pale Mushroom. And it's super cute. I'm very happy with this. Very happy indeed. And I'm making a couple more things to be sent off with the recipient of this sweater. Just because every time I see her silly little face, I just want to make a bunch of stuff for her because she's one of the cutest kids alive, and I haven't made anything for her since she was born. She's a little over a year now. I think she's a year and 2.5 months. So this is going to be probably too big for her for now, but it's still going to be super cute, especially come fall time, because that's when I kind of made it for. And I just want to make her a bunch of stuff. So this is the first finished object. And the nice thing for me about knitting a lot of these kids things is that most of them are in DK weight, and DK, I know my gauge, and almost all of them are the same gauge, so I don't have to do gauge swatches or anything, which is amazing. The second sweater that I have finished is also a child sweater. I started this right after I finished filing my taxes because I was like having a panic because they always make me panic, but I filed them and I had to cast on something like right away so I could like calm my mind a little bit. So I cast on and bound off the little Camaro sweater, and this is a pattern by Tanis Lavely. It's super cute. The only thing I have left to do is to sew a button onto the back because it's got a little open back closure thing. Super, super cute. When I was knitting this, it looked so weird because you do like the V shaping and the stripes and everything's going great, and then you do short row shaping to get it back to like straight. And the way that I did German short rows instead of rapid turn, but like regardless of that, it makes it all kind of weirdly bunched, and it didn't look really any good until after I blocked it. I've got my hair, cat hair all over it. Good thing the recipient also has cats. But yeah, actually I should say, I believe in the Marseille sweater I made the 2 to 3 year size, and then in this one I think I made the 1 to 2 years size. I'm pretty sure. I have it up on my Ravelry. I've been keeping track of them. But yeah, I had a bunch of DK like leftovers. I don't have much for DK yarn in my stash, but I had a bunch of like leftovers. I had a bad habit of buying one of a DK colorway and then not knowing what to do with it. But the first color is my hand-dyed yarn in Rusty Bucket. And then I think this one is Petal. And then this one is a Bay Street Yarns colorway, one of my leftovers. And then I have Dark Mushroom. This one is also a Bay Street Yarns. Pale Mushroom, Hot Lava, and then I have the Petal and Rusty Bucket again. But I think it's super, super sweet. And this is actually going to the same child as where this one is going to. I'm gonna have to sew like a little bag to put all of the stuff I'm making for her, but it's just too cute. It's too cute. Cat hair all over the place. So yeah, these are also all DKs. Nothing more else to say about it. It was really enjoyable to knit. It was very quick, and it was just nicely different than a lot of the other things that I've been making lately, and also it's just heckin' cute. So that is the second finished object. I'll refold these later. Third finished object is a pair of socks. I don't know where the inspiration for this came from, but I think right after I filmed my last episode, I had this idea for a colorway for self-striping yarn that I had to try right away. And I'm pretty sure I dyed it later that day. And then I enjoyed knitting the sample so much that I finished them almost immediately. So this is a colorway that will be available in my shop on May 6th, this coming Friday. And I dyed quite a bit of it, but if I do sell out of it really quickly, I will be dyeing more for my next update. But I digress. This is my third finished object, and this is a new colorway that is called Candy Coated. Speckled all throughout. And they will come with a mini, all of the sets. Just because I find doing sock sets is a lot easier for me, because a lot of people, I find it's easier, what am I trying to say? Not having to pick a contrast mini is very convenient for a lot of people, I think, so it's just easier if they come with it. Anyway, so yeah, this is totally vanilla sock that I do all the time. 2.25 millimeter needles. I cast on 56 stitches because I've got quite small feet. And I usually knit for 8 rows, insert the heel flap and gusset. I just do a normal slip stitch heel flap with the garter ridge detail, so I find that really easy to pick up stitches that way. And then I do my gusset decreases. For socks, when I knit socks, I always pick up, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I always pick up an extra stitch in the corners before when I'm picking up my gusset stitches on either side. And then on the next row, I decrease those, immediately do a plain row, and then start doing my gusset decreases. And I find it makes it so there's absolutely no hole at all. And I think maybe one day I'll sort of film a little video about how I do that, just to show, because I've knit so many pairs of socks that I've got so much practice. But yeah, I'm really excited about this colorway, and I do have quite a bit, so I hope if you are wanting some, you can get some. And again, I will dye more if it's all out, because it's a very fun colorway to dye. It's weirdly more labor intensive and easier than a lot of my other colorways. Anyway, that's finished object number 3, and I have one more finished object. So I've been trying to like knit samples of colorways that will be coming to the shop on the weekend, just because it's a lot easier to see like what the colorway looks like. So this I cast on as a sample, and I didn't plan on finishing it as quickly as I did, but it went weirdly fast. So I cast on and bound off again the Oslo hat by Petite Knit, the mohair edition. And this was to sample my colorway Black Cherry. And it knit up so nicely. And someone on Instagram, because I posted a picture of this, asked if it was a beginner friendly pattern. And I don't know if there's a more beginner friendly pattern than this pattern. You cast on and you don't do any rib or anything, you just do knit stitches. So it's a triple folded brim. I'm sure most of you have seen this, but just in case you haven't, it's a triple folded brim. So you cast on and then you knit a huge chunk and then you turn it around so that your right side is the opposite side, and then you just tack down the cast on. And then you fold it up again, and then you can't see any of the purl stitches. It's easy as pie. It is so simple, but satisfying. Like for me, I think the reason it goes so fast is because I don't have to do any like establishing rows with ribbing or anything like that. So I'm really happy with it. My gauge, I knit this on a 3mm needle, which is what's called for in the pattern. I think my gauge might be a tiny bit tighter than that, but it still fits me after I blocked it. Before I blocked it, it was very tight, but it fits me now after I blocked it. But I think I'm still going to be giving this as a Christmas gift. I have, excuse me. So this is my Black Cherry colorway. This is what it looks like on the merino fingering. I have 37 grams left of this one, which was an original 100 gram. And then this is the mohair, and I have 22 grams of this, which was originally 50. So I've got plenty of this left. So I think what I'm going to do, cat hair, I think what I'm going to do is knit the child size, and then I'm going to give these as a mommy and baby matching set because I think that'd be cute. But yeah, super, super happy with this. It looks really great. My boyfriend kept trying to be like, oh, I really like that. I really like that. And I'm like, I'll knit you one in a different color. Don't worry. So yeah, I'll be using the rest of this as well. So that is my last finished object. Again, the Oslo hat and mohair edition by Petite Knit. And I'm just trying to knit patterns that I already have, just because it's easy. And this is, again, super easy. Actually, cast on another one, which will transition me nicely into works in progress. Just so I don't repeat myself for too long, I am knitting an Oslo hat mohair edition by Petite Knit. This one, I should say the last one I knit was the adult medium. My head is 57 centimeters circumference, which the medium is 56 to 57, I think. So that's why it's probably like a little bit on the tighter side. And then the adult large, which is what I'm knitting now, is the 58 to 60. I might not have that correct in my head, but it's something like that. But my boyfriend has a big old noggin, so I'm knitting this one for my boyfriend in the adult large, and I'm also knitting it on 3.5mm needle instead. He's got a big head. So I cast this on last night, and this is what I've got so far. Again, just stockinette in the round, easy peasy. And you don't even have to join the rounds in the beginning because you're going to be sewing it up anyway if you don't want to, so it doesn't So I'm knitting this one out of my Hot Lobble colorway. This is a fingering weight superwash merino nylon 80/20 2-ply. And then I'm holding it together with Hot Lobble on the mohair. But the thing about the Hot Lobble on mohair, it didn't take the red quite as deeply, but I really, really like it. So these are the two together, and I'm really liking how it's coming out. So it's got a little bit more of the rusty undertone, which I really, really like. But yeah, I'm just knitting in the round on that. Nothing too spectacular, but I really like it. And I also have, I've got another one of these set aside to make one in the evergreen colorway, which I'll show you in a bit. So yeah, I'll probably have one of these on the needles for the next little while. I also have some mohair that I've like tiny amounts of mohair that I didn't really know what to do with, so I might be making more of these for Christmas gifts and such. But yeah, that's the one I'm working on right now. I won't have as much left over of this, but I still might have enough to make a baby version, because there's lots of kids that I know that are like within the 2 to 5 year range, so I could probably make a bunch of these for kids too with leftovers, because then I'm not having like 22 grams of mohair with nothing to do with it. That's my first work in progress. My second one is, and I apologize, it's also a petite knit pattern. I'm just going by whatever I've printed off here. I am making the Stockholm Sweater Junior, and I only have black and white photos. So. But I am making the 2 to 3 year size, and I'm knitting it out of some stash yarn. I have some leftover Surrey alpaca undyed from a project that I did last year. And then I'm using this colorway, which is Love Confetti, which was, it's also on the 80/20 base. I dyed this last year or the year before. It's starting to kind of concave itself. But I'm noticing with this, because in my field day cardigan as well, I used the Surrey alpaca. I do prefer Surrey alpaca to mohair, just in general. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm probably going to try and get some Surrey alpaca into the shop, just for my own preference. But anyway, so I cast on the 2 to 3 year size, and this is what it looks like so far. And yeah, nothing really to write home about. It's 4mm needles, which is what I've knit all of the baby stuff on. Pretty much all my projects actually are on 4mm needles right now. Like actual garment projects. Yeah, you cast on the back, knit straight, and then you do some short row shaping and bind off magic for the front. So I'm almost down, down to where you would start the ribbing. So I'll do the ribbing, and then I'll probably do the collar first and then do the sleeves. But I think it'll be super cute. I don't know who this is for. Again, I know a lot of babies. So this one might go to my cousin's second daughter, but I'm not entirely sure. Nothing to write home about. None of my projects are really anything to write home about right now, just because they're in that weird sort of like just stockinette stage. My last knitting work in progress is the, oh boy, the Pavement Sweater by Vera Valimaki. I almost forgot what it was called. And I have this on much too small needles, so you're not going to be able to really see it at all. I apologize. But first I'll show you the yarn. I am knitting it in my Evergreen colorway on my 80/20 fingering weight base. And I have got past all of the increases for the sleeves, and I am just now knitting in the round. Again, it doesn't look like anything, I know, but there's not much to say about it. I'm really liking how this color is knitting up. This is for partly my summer knitting. It's just a lightweight, like fingering weight, lightweight top that I am going to probably live in when I'm finished. So I should probably finish it soon, because it finally stopped raining here. So it's going to start getting warmer. It's supposed to be warm all this week, and it's just going to get warmer from there. So I need some lightweight garments. And I also need to stop wearing my field day cardigan quite so much, otherwise it's going to start disintegrating. But yeah, 4mm needles, did the short row shaping in the back. All is well. I don't know how quickly I'm going to be working on this, just because it's not really a priority at the moment. So yeah, that's my last knitting work in progress that I've actively been working on. I'm also working on 2 other crafts. I have actually worked on my Alphonse Mucha cross stitch, which is very exciting. I'm working on the blonde, this one I showed you before. And that you can find, I'll link it down below, but you can find it on the Art of Stitch on Etsy. They've got a bunch. I don't know if you can actually see because of my highlighter. But I worked on this a bit last week. And I posted about it online about how it's amazing how you actually just need to work on things to get them done. But I did most of this bottom portion right here. So yeah, I just need to carve out some time to actually work on it, and maybe one of these days it will be finished. Maybe. And yeah, oh, and this is a needle minder that I got from, oh my God. I should know this. Yeah, nothing. But yeah, that's the progress so far. I'm really happy with it. I really enjoy cross stitch. I just need to carve out more time to do it. I'm really bad for that, not making time for things that are just for fun. The second other project that I'm working on is a quilt top that I started, I think, last week. So when I'm in the mood for it, I have a tendency to cut out a bunch of quilts and then just put them into plastic bins. And then when the mood strikes me, I can just start sewing instead of having to cut out a quilt when I want to. And it's worked out very well so far. But the one I'm working on right now is the Christmas Joy, and it is by Brittany Lloyd of Lo and Behold Stitchery. And I have made this one before. I made the queen size last time, and it was my second sewing, like, quilting project, and it's the quilt that lives on my bed, and it's big and lovely, and I love it. And so I'm trying to make more quilts for myself, so I'm actually making another one in the queen size to be able to switch out on the bed. And I only have one of the blocks to show you, but I'm doing it in a lot more like floral fabrics. Got some threads sticking out of here. But this is one of the colors, so I have 15 different fabrics that I'm using on it, and this is one of them. So a lot of them have this floral. I'm pretty sure I got this, it was from a fat quarter pack from Cottoneer, but I can't remember which one it was. And then just some polka dot fabric that I got from fabric.com, I believe. So yeah, there's 30 of these blocks, and then I just need to sew, I'm almost on all of the blocks, I just need to sew the sashing on after I figure out the layout. But yeah, that's one of mine. There's 2 in each colorway, so I've got the 2. But yeah, that will probably be done by next week, the top anyway. I don't know if I'm gonna get it quilted locally, or maybe send it to Connecting Threads does quilting, I know. Maybe. I don't know. I have to actually figure out if there's anyone who does long arm quilting that's near me, because that is one of the ones that I would never want to quilt myself, because it would be huge and cumbersome, and just, I don't think I have enough sanity left in me to actually do that myself. So yeah, I think that's all for works in progress. I am going to be, so as many of you may know, Me Made May started yesterday. Today is the 2nd of May. And I don't have much for hand sewn garments. I have a lot of knitted things, although I do need to up some of the more summery, usable everyday knitwear. But I do want to make more sewn garments. And I have the same problem with garment sewing that I do with quilting. Is I'm really, really good at cutting out patterns, laying out the fabric, cutting out the fabric, putting it in a pile, and putting it in my closet. So my goal for this month is to pull out some of those cut out patterns and actually sew them up, so that I could have some, some tops and some dresses and skirts to wear in the summer. So I want to start doing that a little bit more. So there's going to be a little bit more garment sewing, hopefully, in the next few weeks. But that's pretty much the plan. And that's the crafting. So I'm gonna, just for the end here, I'm gonna move on and show you what's going into the shop update on the 6th of May. First off, of course, this colorway. Um, so yeah, they are coming in 50 and 100-gram sets with the mini skein. This is candy coated. And then we have the Lord of the Rings colorway of the month, which is the Eves of the Golden Wood. So I said at the beginning of the year that when I was done releasing all 6 of the colorways, I would be selling them in sets of all the different colorways. I am not sure this one will be part of it. It's a tempestuous colorway, and there's going to be quite a few factory seconds in this shop update of this colorway, and I don't think I will be dyeing any more of it after this batch. So when I release the whole set, it'll just be the 5, the first 4, and then the last one that I will be releasing next month, just so you know. Anyways, all right, so I've got Black Cherry, which will be on a superwash merino mohair, and this new tweed DK base, which is so lovely. I'm really tempted to make a sort of like a varsity style sweater with this and a pale mushroom on tweed striping, because I think that would be so cool. And if these don't show up properly with lighting, because this is notoriously hard to photograph, I will put up a little video with some different lighting. I have got evergreen on merino nylon. Oh, you'd think this is my first time. Mohair and tweed. I've got a hot lobble on merino, and I will have on a mohair, just haven't wound it up yet. This is Shady Dealings. This is a nearly black. It's a warm black, so it's got brown undertones, which I really, really like. Got Rusty Bucket on merino nylon. Party Time on merino nylon. And then I have got these 3 that go really well together. This is Lace Curtains. It's a very lovely, warm, pale pink. This is Peach Tea. This is Cupcake. Pale Mushroom. And then the colorway that I knit the baby sweater that I showed last podcast, Gilly, on merino nylon and mohair. I really like this colorway. Really like this colorway. So I think I'm also going to be dyeing some more tweed later on today. But yes, I'm very happy with this update. I always want to tell people, like, if you want to be a yarn dyer, you should do it, but make colorways that you like. It's a lot more fun if you're making colorways that you would knit with. And it's also a double-edged sword where I want to knit with all my colorways. Sounds, ugh. This is why it's kind of fun that I always have to make sock samples, because I get to knit with those colorways. So, yes. That will be the update. If you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. Oh, I forgot to grab it. I also have some mini skein sets, but I'll be previewing everything on Instagram as well. And then if I have time this week, I'll also be making some project bags. And I should have time as long as I don't spend too much time outside. Now that the sun's finally out, I'm gonna act like salamander. Anyway, sorry. That is everything I have to show you this week. And yeah, I'm going to dye some more tweed, which is always fun, edit this podcast, and knit on my hat. So I will see you in hopefully 2 weeks' time, and I will have some more sewing things. And yes, I never know how to say goodbye. Goodbye! Just wanted to give you a quick video of what the original Christmas Joy quilt that I made looked like. So I made this about 2 years ago, I would say. That pillow there is also a pattern by Pen and Paper Patterns. It's supposed to be a wall hanging. I made a pillow. yeah. So the original, it was quilted by my mother-in-law, and it's got a lot more like springy, summery patterns and such. So yeah, I just wanted something that was a little more floral. And that is all.